Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and this is a recap of the 35 games I wanted to play last year. Like, last year in 2025, I think that makes sense. 2025. Long story short, I put together a challenge for myself at the beginning of 2025. I'll link to those 3 videos down below in the description of 35 games I wanted to play. 15 of them were games from 2023. Yes, 2 full years back. 2023 titles I wanted to get played that I had missed and wanted to table. 10 of them were games on Board Game Arena, and 10 of them were games from my own collection. A total of 35 games that I wanted to get played in 2025. And I told myself, well, at least in those videos, I said I want to get at least 30 of those 35 games played, because I have to allow for some degree of, like, I can't get everything tabled, some things miss me by, some things I want to table, my group doesn't. There's always these edge cases. And so I set a goal of 30 games. I did not make that goal. I got close though. I got to 29 games of those 35 games. 6 of them I did not get played, and 29 of them I got played, and this is a ranking of those games. I'm going to be going over all 35 games, starting with the 6 that I did not play and just what my current thoughts, desire to play around them are. The 29 that I did play ranked from my least favorite all the way to my most favorite. My least favorite is going to upset people. Yes, this is a little clickbaity, like, number 7 will shock you. No, the very first one I say, I've been public about it before, it's not necessarily news if you watch all my videos, but my very first one, the fact that it's so far at the end of this list is going to upset people, and I respect that. It just didn't work for me. I played it twice. It didn't work for me. I'm sorry, that happens sometimes. I know it's a game that people genuinely love. We'll get to that soon. Again, if you watch enough of my videos, this won't be a surprise. Although if you don't watch enough of my videos, this entire list might be a surprise. To that end, it's also worth noting before you spend time watching this, that all of these games, I think, maybe not all, but most of these games in one video or another, I have talked about these games, either telling you how much I like them, or telling you which ones didn't work for me, or which ones will leave my collection. So technically speaking, there's not going to be a lot new here outside of the ranking of the list, and the fact that you probably don't watch every single one of my videos. Most people cannot. That would be crazy. I put up like 12 to 14 videos a week. It's a lot. I am always intrigued with the people who say they watch all my videos, because some of them exist, but it's a lot to be on top of. With that, before we dive into this channel is sponsored by Allplay. If you go to allplay.com, you can find a variety of videos. You can find a variety of things from board game tables like you see in front of me, board game mats, which I actually have on the table right now. There's a nice green cover underneath this, but I like mixing up the colors. I actually want to get more colors to mix it up even more, but we'll get to that in the future. The shelves behind you, which I should finally get around to the review. I've had these long enough, as well as a variety of board games and even board game bags and more. Go to allplay.com to check those out. With that, let's go ahead and dive into this, starting off with the 6 games that I have not played. And then those 6 are going to be Yedo, it might be pronounced Yedo, Y-E-D-O, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I still have that one, I still want to play it, I just haven't gotten it tabled. It survived many a cull of unplayed games and played games alike, but I still want to play it. Castellans. Castellans is a Valeria game. It's a Castellans of Valeria, I believe. Did not get that one tabled. In fact, I want to play it so much, I actually put it in my list of games that I want to play in 2026, so we'll see if I get it tabled this year. I haven't yet, but I still have 6 months left. I got time. 5 months, closer to 5 months. 5 months left. I still have time to get it played. We have Freelancers. Freelancers from Plaid Hat, and I don't think I have this on my goal to play anymore. I mean, if I get a table, I get it tabled, but I think I've moved away from my desire to play Freelancers, so that one's gone. Star Trek Away Missions, I still have and still want to play, but I didn't put it on a subsequent list. I think there was a point in time where I was very excited for it, and now I'm just like, okay playing it. I think if I don't get it played this year, it may just disappear entirely. Scholars of the South Tigris, still want to play it, but I didn't put it on any list again. I do want to play it, but I feel I don't play Wayfarers of South Tigris enough right now that Scholars is lower down on my desire to play. And then Assault on Doomrock is still another one that I do want to play. Basically, I think 5 out of these 6 I still want to play. Freelancers the least, then Star Trek Away Missions, and then various degrees of how much I want to play the rest of them. Which brings us to the games that I played. 29 games, going through them from least to most, from least rated, well, least desired to play. Depends on how you count these things, which does have some nuance to it. But my number 29 is Anachrony. I didn't like Anachrony. I really didn't enjoy it. I played it again just in case, now that I understood it. By all accounts, it has the ingredients of a game that I should like, but practically speaking, I actively do not want to play it. I found my second play, I regretted, like, I only did it because I wanted to give myself a second shot, and I did not enjoy it. I so much did not enjoy it. I was anxiously waiting for the game to end. I wanted to bow out, but I really don't like bowing out. Anachrony didn't work for me. Again, I respect the fact that there's always going to be, there's a lot of people who love Anachrony, but for me, it's not just that it didn't become a game I love. I really, really do not enjoy it, and my second play I actively disliked. Coming in number 28, and I won't remember the numbers for all of these because I didn't actually put numbers on this list, but they're counting down over here. Next up, we have A Guest of Robin Hood. I was very excited to play this one. Very excited. I heard great things about it, and then when I played it, it just did not work for me at all. It is another highly rated one. Only one play of this one. It didn't work. It didn't work for me at all. Like, I mean, I understand the concept, I understand how everything works together, but the fun factor seemed to be missing. And there's a lot of games that have this kind of tug of war, this back and forth, this placing things out, trying to figure out the positioning. But I guess for Robin Hood, for whatever reason, the puzzle of it all, I didn't find satisfying so much as tedious. Iwari is another one that I was very excited for. I've had Iwari in my collection for years, and I finally got it tabled. And not for me. It's kind of boring. I felt it was just place things out and score without a strong sense of the reason you're placing things out or how it all comes together. The table presence is amazing. The pieces I had, the deluxe version, oh my gosh, so deluxe, so cool, everything. But the actual gameplay of it is basically just placing out a variety of towers, going for some adjacency bonuses. It didn't feel like there was ever an interesting puzzle outside of hope the cards favor what you're trying to do and then just place things onto a board. Honestly, for a long time, I thought the rating might be too low, and now I think the BGG rating might be too high. It's not like really well rated, it's like a 7.1, 7.2, something like that. But I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, this game's gonna be so much better than that. I had it recommended to me by people, but ultimately it's the one that I bounced off of hard. Bloodstones from Martin Wallace, or Wallace Game Design. That was one that I really wanted to enjoy. I loved the idea of the asymmetric powers. Felt like it leaned into like Small World, but then a lot more intricate as far as the gameplay. But ultimately it felt like Small World if Small World were a lot less interesting. That's what it came down to. The asymmetry is there. The trading in your tokens for actions for anything, basically. You use your tokens as your kind of economy in the game. Felt like a compelling puzzle. In actuality, the tenseness of the experience wasn't really there. It felt like the driest game I've ever played that happened to have tons of asymmetry and powers in theory. That's what it kind of felt like. We have Mexica. Mexica is another one that did not work for me. An oldie but a goodie. I believe it's actually being reprinted right now. Mexica actually arguably should be higher. Honestly, at this point onwards, those last four really didn't enjoy. Anachrony, Guest of Robin Hood, Iwari, and Bloodstones did not enjoy them at all. Actively don't want to play. Mexica onwards, we start already moving to I don't mind playing these again. Like, we're already moving into like, 3s and 3.5s over here. But I still wasn't super compelled by them. Mexica is an area control puzzle of moving things around while you try to siphon off different areas of the board while trying to use clever movement to position your little, I can't remember, temples, pyramids, whatever you call them, in these zones to get area control. My biggest issue with it was not that the gameplay loop wasn't bad, it's just that I felt it was almost too open-ended, so it felt like it was too easy to do so many things that it became less compelling because of that. It's too easy to do things, it's too easy to block others, it's too easy to be blocked by others. There's only so many ways I want to math out the million ways you can get in my way before just not caring enough that you can get in my way. There was Delta. Delta's from Game Brewer, I believe. Delta was a fine game of trying to build up your tableau, exploring different regions, trying to move out, gather the right cards. It was fine. Nothing wrong with it, just nothing that was super compelling either. Battalion War of the Ancients is from Osprey. This was a two-player abstract strategy game of controlling various factions that it just didn't feel like there was a ton of decision space that was, again, interesting. It felt fairly dry overall. I was pretty excited for this one, and ultimately kind of, again, not bad. I'd play this again, just not super intrigued either. Undaunted 2200 Callisto was high on my list because I've always wanted to like the Undaunted system more, and I thought maybe a sci-fi theme would do that for me. Turns out it didn't. It's still just Undaunted. Like, there's some minor changes to it. I couldn't even tell you what the changes were, but there are some minor changes. But ultimately, it's 99% Undaunted with a sci-fi theme, and that wasn't enough to rescue the gameplay for me. It still felt like a war of attrition. You just go for trying to slowly ping away your opponent's units while trying to engage in deck building that's going to control who you're going to utilize. No different than the regular Undaunted, no different than Battle Chest or War Chest. Ultimately, it's still a fine game, but the sci-fi theme did not elevate it for me. We have Kutna Hora, the City of Silver. Euro from I almost want to say Bezier, but not Bezier, from CGE. It doesn't even look like a CGE game. CGE games are so vibrant and colorful, and Kutna Hora feels like it's not that. No disrespect to Bezier. I don't mean to like imply that their games are not. But Kutna Hora, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. The kind of living computer of the game that determines the market value of everything was a very intricate, clever system that didn't actually add to the experience at all. If you want points for how clever you can be, great, you get points. If you want points for how it improves the game system, it didn't improve the game system for me in the slightest. And the current economy of the game, all the things you're doing just didn't feel like it was super exciting. Honestly, if anything, I wonder if Kutna Hora should be a little lower down this list. But again, I'd still be willing to play this. At this point, we're moving into that category, and we're already in that category. I just didn't love Kutna Hora, unfortunately. ZooVadis from Bitewing was one that I wanted to, well, like all these games I wanted to try. ZooVadis seemed very accessible, seemed very fun. There's a kind of it's play the players as a positioning game. You're trying to figure out how to get ahead of everyone and how to get your people towards the end first through using them as much as possible and trying to get control of various regions to allow people to move, making deals with each other. All this sounds like it should be super compelling. I found it to be very group dependent. I had some games that were great and some games that just didn't work at all. It was very group dependent for me in a way that I am less likely to pull it out and table it. I'm willing to play it again. Like there's an interesting puzzle and negotiation game going on there. But I think ultimately I'd rather play Chinatown. Chinatown gives me the same general feeling, but I liked that game a lot better. I think because of the fact that Chinatown you could kind of do your own thing more, just trading helps you. And ZooVadis, your hands are literally tied when other players won't work with you, and that can result in a more frustrating experience. Again, group dependent. There's Disney Animated. A cute game with a Arc Nova action system as you try to go ahead and cooperatively. You're playing cooperatively against a villain over here, and you're trying to go ahead and build your film. It's a cute concept. I found that the game itself was not bad. It's just that it was the kind of game that I was happy to play once. Subsequent plays were just the same thing again and again. Yes, there's other villains in theory, but like it didn't really change the gameplay experience. I felt it was not super exciting. Wait, did I say cooperative? Wait, 1 second. It is cooperative. It is cooperative. Yes. It's been a while since I played this, so apologize if I bounced off. I was trying to remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure it's cooperative, if I'm not mistaken. You're fighting against the villains. Yeah, definitely cooperative. Anyways, Disney Animated. It was fine. It's just that subsequent gameplays did not make the experience better for me. Shadows of Kilforth. Shadows of Kilforth from Hollow Nothing Games is an incredibly intricate solo, or I played it solo, but you can play it at a variety of player counts. I think it's best solo, if I'm not mistaken. But Shadows of Kilforth, it's based on the general Kilforth line. There's I think it's Gloom of Kilforth, Shadows of Kilforth, and something else of Kilforth. I don't remember all the titles. But either way, I think that the actual game mechanics were incredibly well done. The world part of it didn't pull me in. It felt very much like you're dealing with just a grid of cards, and like, while you are, that is what you're doing to a large extent. I think that I'd rather play something like Primal or Marvel Champions or anything else if I'm playing a card-based game. I was really looking forward to this one, and it was fine. I think my expectations for this were higher than the actual gameplay experience resulted in. There's St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg is a fun one. You're building up a tableau. It's a fun little game which is constantly trying to buy cards and do more each round. I understand, like, I've had this on my list since I first got into gaming, like, I don't know, 14 years ago, however long it's been, 15 years ago. And I finally tabled it last year, and it was fine. I think I would have liked it a lot more had I played it, 15 years ago when I originally had the chance to. I think it doesn't hold up in modern game design. Rallyman Dirt was fine. Again, another one that I was very excited for this one. I had backed the whole crowdfunding campaign, Holy Grail Games, before everything went under. I got a retail copy instead, thanks to a viewer, actually. A viewer sent me a retail copy of the game. He knew I wanted it, and I played it, and then I felt bad because it was fine. It was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I like the push your luck system as far as your own dice. It just felt very disconnected. You feel disconnected from the other players. It feels like you're playing a solo racing game, which you happen to measure yourself against the other players, and that didn't work for me overall. Like, the concept of it, the push your luck I liked. The racing game where it doesn't feel like the other players are really with you in the same way, that I did not like quite as much. Teotihuacan is a Euro game from Board and Dice that is, again, a very well-loved game that I thought was fine. I wasn't pulled in by it. And some of these Euros, some of these incredibly interesting Euros, I find most of them are in that 4+ range for me. It's a 4 or a 4.5 or a 5. And my biggest challenge is which ones deserve to be on my shelf. At this point, with a Euro game that's going to be like 2.5-hour crunchy media experience, most of the ones I currently choose and keep are like 4.5s and 5s. I'd say more 5s. Even a 4.5 isn't safe because those games don't hit game night quite as often. And so it's harder to justify keeping them if they're not the best of the best. Teotihuacan was fine. I liked it. It was a good puzzle. I just wasn't super pulled in by it relative to a lot of other, I'm excited. Board and Dice has the Voyage of Marco Polo, the new version, whatever it is, coming out. That one I've always meant to give another shot to, and I never fully did. I don't feel I gave it a fair shot. I'd rather play that one again over Teotihuacan. Random selection, just another Board and Dice Euro game. Then there was Arkeis. Arkeis I'm still in the middle of, and I still might have my opinion change in it. It's a legacy game that I waited like 3 years for after backing it on crowdfunding. Got in the early days. Antoine Bauza plus another dozen other designers. Arkeis is fine. It's so far, I'm like maybe 5 plays in so far. It's a fine cooperative legacy game that doesn't feel super legacy-ish. Like, it feels more campaignish than legacy. I'm not super compelled, but it's also nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's a game that has nothing wrong with it, but also nothing super strong going for it that has me super invested in it. As of right now, it's just a legacy game that I've played like 5 times and I've enjoyed it, but I haven't felt the hook to continue to dive back into it. At some point, I will either give up or finish playing it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that if you're going to ask me to play a legacy game, it has to be more than nothing wrong with it. I have to be compelled. I have to be interested. I have to feel that the mechanics you're unlocking keep me engaged as a player. And so far, this feels like a lightweight, accessible game that I've just played multiple times. Maracaibo. The original Maracaibo, not Pirates of Maracaibo. Maracaibo is solid. I just like Pirates of Maracaibo so much more. I played Maracaibo, I think, 3 times by now, giving it a shot again and again because of how much I like Pirates of Maracaibo. But ultimately, it's one that I don't feel the need to continue to dive into. Next up, we have Earthborne Rangers. This one I placed in an interesting position because I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I've only played this one time, so I only had like a single exposure to the game. But it's a game that I want to explore more, but my rating could go up or down, so I put it on the list where I currently am. But again, it could get worse or it could get better. It's one that has a ton of hype around Earthborne Rangers, the world of Earthborne Rangers. They just had the new campaign, the new Earthborne one, and it's one that I really want to dive into more. I wanna find out more about whether this game works for me or not. As it stands, it definitely leans into that kind of Arkham Horror kind of style gameplay where you're playing a card-based system as you have various interactions. Is it by the team behind Arkham Horror? Maybe. I don't remember Arkham Horror, the card game, to be clear. I don't recall. There's definitely the team at Fantasy Flight is involved in this one. They're the ex-Fantasy Flight employees who now work for Earthborne Games. But I don't actually remember exactly team-wise who's where. But yeah, it was fun. I played a single session of it, for maybe 2.5 hours. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. I want to dive into it more, but I haven't done so yet. So this is a kind of a loosey-goosey one. It's really not sure where to put it. Federation. Federation is a solid Eurogame. I really like Federation. I didn't choose to keep it in the end, but Federation is one that at this point we really are, I'd say from Federation onwards, we're moving into games that I thought were excellent. Some I still have, some I don't. Federation I chose not to keep in the end, but I thought it was a very, very solid game as far as trying to lean into which planets you're trying to figure out, which pathways you're trying to explore. You just have to choose a few lanes to really lean into, and then abandon some things, focus on others as you try to grow in this galaxy game, while also engaging in voting in the Galactic Senate. I don't know if they call it the Senate, but whatever they call it. They have this voting scheme. Played it a few times. I played it for the first time at Level Up Retreat, if I'm not mistaken, but then I played it a few times after that, and then ultimately it was Level Up Retreat 2025, I guess, so almost more than a year ago, because it wasn't this year, it was the year ago, it was last year. But overall, I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was a very well done game, but not one that I felt the need to keep at the end of it. I felt that the mental headspace versus one of those games where I think, even after multiple plays, I always felt like I wanted to get more done than I got done when playing it, and that kind of held it back a little bit for me. Evacuation is another solid one. This is by Vladimir Suchi, if I'm not mistaken, and as well as his company that I never remember the name. The people who did Prague Put Regni, I can't remember the name of the company. But that company, not Horrible Games, that's something else. I don't remember. But either way, Evacuation is a very clever game as far as moving your entire population from one planet to another, along with trying to figure out how to build up your cruise ships, your cruise lines, build up your infrastructure. There's a ton of things going on in the game, and I found it very enjoyable, but not one that I chose to keep at the end of the day. There's Civolution. Another one that I wrestled with a lot. Civolution I liked a lot. A Stefan Feld game where you get a ton done in the game. There's a ton of different actions. It feels like as intricate as, well, like Druids of Fedora, Castle of Burgundy. A ton of things happening and a ton of ways to spend dice. It's very Castle of Burgundy adjacent in the dice spending of it, as far as how you build up your various tableau and you're trying to figure out where your dice go and how to activate things. All as you explore around the map as well. There's a lot going on. It's one, and then the cards. Oh my gosh, there's so many cards as well to build into your engine. It's one of those games that I feel, again, I couldn't, after multiple plays, I still felt like I always wanted to get more done than I was able to get done. And sometimes in a game, if that feeling doesn't go away after multiple plays, I recognize that maybe I'm not good enough for the game, maybe sometimes some people don't mind tighter engines. I always want to feel like I get a certain amount done in a game. And if a game allows me to do that, I will love the puzzle of how to maximize it. But if a game makes me feel like I want to get more done every time I play, usually, not just in a general sense of wanting to get more done, but in that sense of I didn't get enough done. That's the specific feeling. And Civolution, even after multiple plays, I always felt like I didn't get enough done. Even as I learned, even as I got better, I still felt held back by that. And so it's one that I love in theory, but did get rid of. Daybreak. Daybreak is next on the list. This is an interesting one that I kept for a while, but then got rid of it. Daybreak was incredibly well done. I was a big fan of Daybreak, and it was lower on my expectations list, to be clear. But I really enjoyed it with one small caveat, which is that after, like, I don't know, 10 plays, it felt clear that there was a way I played Daybreak, and that way didn't change no matter how many times I encountered it. It was always the same puzzle of card cycling as you tried to build up and deal with the various hazards of the environment the game is throwing at you. But it was a game that felt like they gave me like 7 things to do, and I would always do the same 2 because that's what felt more efficient. And I was pretty good at the game. I won most of the games I played, so that did feel like it was working. But so many interesting card mechanics I never fully explored because I was like, I can try to figure this out, but it's complicated and non-intuitive, or I could just do the thing that seems to work. And so that was the puzzle I found myself in with Daybreak. It's still one that I occasionally dabble in on Board Game Arena because you can play it on BGA, so like I didn't mind getting rid of my copy. It is a very clever puzzle, but I think it's very much a play, not own kind of game, at least based on my experience with it. Then there's Hamburg. Hamburg is the revised version of Bruges from Queen Games. That one is an interesting one because I don't have Hamburg, I do have Bruges. Bruges is incredible. Hamburg is a lesser version of Bruges in my opinion. The gameplay changes didn't feel like they improved the game. They didn't make the game worse, but they didn't improve it. And the visuals were majorly a step down from Bruges. I think Bruges is such a better visual production than Hamburg is, and so Bruges is absolutely the game I chose to keep. Hamburg is still a great game, which is why this is high on the list. Barcelona. Barcelona over here from Board and Dice. I love this game. I have not reviewed it yet because I've only played it twice and I want to get a few more plays, and I also have the expansion, so I probably should do that at some point. But so far, I love the game. It's a very fun, again, tableau building to a degree. You're building up, you're kind of placing things down into this central board as far as the various roadways and pathways while trying to upgrade your tableau in dozens of different ways. I found it very challenging, very interesting. There's like a kind of a play off of what you try to do first because everything you do first matters. But again, I haven't played the expansion yet. I want to do that. Honestly, I've been trying to table this a lot for the past 6 months, and I have not gotten to do so, but I played it for the first time at PAX Unplugged last year, so the tail end of last year, 2025, got a second play in at some point, don't know exactly when, I don't know if it was last year or this year, but I've been wanting to play it more along with the expansion, but a review will come for it at some point. For right now, I'm really enjoying Barcelona. Then we have Minos, another Board and Dice game. Oh, so we actually do have, like, despite my not loving Teotihuacan, we actually have several Board and Dice games on the table. Minos, Dawn of the Bronze Age. Love this one. It's basically based on, it's from Stan Konosky. It utilizes his system that he utilized in Rurik, but it gives it to you in a Euro game instead. It's a little puzzle of trying to figure out how you control for the timing of an action, as well as the strength and scale of the action. I love Rurik, and so it's no surprise to me that I love Minos. I love Rurik more. I think the system works better in an area control puzzle. There's more tension to it, but the general puzzle still works in a Euro optimization game. But I'm a big fan, and I highly recommend checking out Minos. I have not gotten the expansion yet. I need to do that at some point. That's an expansion. I think I was at a convention. I don't remember which one. I think it was. Or maybe I don't know. Either way, I need to pick up the expansion. Minos is excellent. From there, after Minos, we have Dune Imperium Uprising. I have not done a review of this one yet. I probably should. I actually just finished watching the second Dune movie this past week. I'm behind the curve on that one. I'm prepping for like Dune 3 coming out, so I finally watched the second Dune movie. But Dune Imperium Uprising, it was great. I thought it was a good. It's interesting because I never really thought about this, but it's incorporating obviously the Dune 2 movie into the Dune universe. I assume they'll do some more things when Dune 3 comes out. Seems no reason not to. But Dune Imperium, it's basically Dune just with, sandworms, a few small changes. Overall, I think it's Dune, but marginally better, at least so far. But I want to play it more to see exactly where I end up in it. But I definitely liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm happy I finally played it. The sandworms are fun to get into play. And yeah, it's Dune. It's more Dune. I don't think it's essential to change from Dune to Dune Imperium Uprising, but it is still a step up all the same. Orleans from DLP Games over here, from TMG, from Capstone. Pick your publisher at this point. My copy is an older one, so it's from DLP and TMG, which don't exist. Which DLP might, I don't actually know. TMG does not exist anymore. Tasty Minstrel Games, wow. Like, times have changed. Companies come in and out, and companies... Yeah, it's rough out there. Anyways, Orleans. Orleans is a great game. I actually have on my list to play Orleans expansions this year. That's like, Orleans was on my list for last year. This year, I'm playing Orleans expansions. At least one of them at some point. I should play Invasion. I should learn that one. But anyway, Orleans is a great puzzle as far as optimizing your bag building, because you basically, as you're doing, you're optimizing your bag building. You're trying to figure out the right pacing across the, I think, 18 rounds of the game, if I'm not mistaken, as you try to figure out how to place everything onto the board and try to move around the board, collecting the various goods, all while trying to figure out which things to build into and towards. It's an excellent game. It's a classic for a reason. I think it's a top 100 game. And this year, I plan on playing into the expansions at some point. Then we have Seti. Seti over here, which I'm kind of surprised to put on my list for last year, but I guess that makes sense timing-wise. I don't know. But Seti must have been, for whatever reason, it ended up on my list, but it is one that I put on my list. I've played. I love it. I think it's excellent. I think it's even better with the expansion. The expansion adds a lot to the gameplay. The corporations or whatnot. I can't remember what it's called. The Seti... What's the expansion called? I can't remember the name. It's up there. Seti something. Space agencies. Space agencies. But it's great. I think the expansion is great. It elevates the game. It doesn't make it that much shorter, but it makes it marginally shorter. The alien races are so much fun. I love the alien races aspect of Seti because every single game is a puzzle of what you're going to encounter and how the game is going to change, which is a very charming concept. It's almost surprising that it manages to capture being a Euro game while having that level of surprise going on in the experience. So yeah, I like it a lot. The expansion definitely boosted the game for me. It's still the biggest complaint I have is that it does run long relative to the experience I get out of it when I think of other games I want to table for game night. Which brings us to the last one. Number 1 is Darwin's Journey. Darwin's Journey was on my list of games I wanted to play, and oh my gosh, have I played this game. Easily. From all the games I've covered, I'm pretty sure Darwin's Journey has seen the most play from anything else on the table, because I think through the higher up rankings, like, they've all gotten a few plays, but like, this one, Darwin's Journey, easily has gotten the most table time. It's so fun. It's so satisfying. I also put the expansion for Darwin's Journey on my list. So I want to play that as one of my 2-play games in 2026. But you've probably heard me talk about it a lot, and I probably will not stop talking about it. And at some point, I'll play the expansion because I want to, and hopefully I'll get that tabled. But Darwin's Journey is absolutely incredible. It's a game I highly, highly recommend. I'm excited for the current campaign. What's the new one? Oh my gosh. The new game from the creators that's currently on Game Pass. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm excited for that one as well. But yeah, Thundergroove Games kind of lost me with Iwari way back down this list, but they got me back as the number 1 pick with Darwin's Journey. That is basically a recap of the 35 games I wanted to play in 2025, ranking them finally where they're up to again. 6 I haven't played, 5 of them I still might, 1 of them I've completely given up on. I still might, but I just don't care as much. And these are the 29 games ranked. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.